I was cleaning my room the other day when I found an entire box of my childhood drawings, and it honestly hit me with a wave of nostalgia. I remember how hard I struggled back then to understand things like anatomy, perspective, even basic shading felt impossible. So today I decided to redraw these drawings, but with a twist. I'm going to draw one on paper, one digitally, and one is going to be redrawn by AI. And I want to try this because AI is trained on millions of artworks, but can it actually improve something personal, something imperfect but filled with childhood meaning? Well, you get to decide which version is actually the best in the comments. And okay, it might seem strange for me to split these drawings up like this, but I've spent over 15 years working as an artist, studying in 2 academies and constantly developing my style. And I wanted to see how far this journey has taken me across different mediums, and to prove to myself that AI still can't replace real art. So for the first drawing I'm gonna do is the pencil drawing on paper, and I've already picked my childhood drawing. It was the one that I made back when I was 17 years old, and I was trying to, or attempting to draw Michelangelo's Florentine Pieta, and halfway through the process I was like, oh dang, this is a bit too complex actually, and I quit. And it's a perfect opportunity for me to now find out how far I've actually improved, because this drawing, or this subject rather, contains all the technical aspects that will show me how far I've actually progressed. So let's see. All right, we got the paper, the reference image, my old image, and yes, let's actually begin. So first things first, I take a light pencil and I jot down the overall silhouette, making sure that I place my subject squarely in the center of this piece of paper. Something that I didn't necessarily do in the past, or knew why or how to do exactly. Composition-wise, I have secured the overall shape pretty well. I can see the pretty stark difference between the one that I drew in the past. It's a lot more squished. Probably because I was sitting down and looking at the sculpture from below. Maybe that's why the proportion kind of warped in my eyes. And I can also tell I have improved in terms of me just being able to draw this in 15 minutes. As opposed to me, I think I sat and tried to draw this for an hour at least, and it's not even like sketched entirely. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. You gotta jump back and sometimes kiss yourself. Oh yeah! Self-congratulations aside, I think this is coming along pretty nicely, especially if you compare the original. Oh my. Not too shabby, so-so. But of course, I'm not letting this get to my head. I am still very diligent trying to capture what Michelangelo has imbued within his statue, the emotion, the plasticity, the complex postures. His masterful skill is worth paying attention to. And at this point, I'm switching over to the darker pencil to begin the shading process. It's the most fun but also difficult part of this drawing, because here I have to bring out the volumes of the sculpture via shading, finding the most highlighted areas and the places where there's least amount of light, making sure that I capture Michelangelo's masterful work and its complexity with as accurate of an atmosphere as I possibly can. Finally finishing up with a darker background and... Okay, after 5 hours or so of me working on this, here are the results. And I can tell quite clearly that there is a stark difference. I can also see that my understanding of anatomy has greatly improved compared to my early childhood. Because when I was drawing this, I noticed while I was shading the abdomen, the rib cage, how the body twists and how to follow along that curve. It was a very intuitive process for me now, as opposed to back then when I was trying to capture and copy what I was seeing without fully understanding what I was actually drawing. And now, after all the years of experience, it was an easier process. Even though I spent 5 hours, I achieved a moderate result of some sort of a lighting effect. If I were to work on this for a week, I would bring this piece up to a level that would be close enough to the academic style of traditional drawing. However, this is not the end. We must move on to the digital drawing that I must make, so let's get to that. Boom! Here we are in the digital world! And we also have this picture that I picked for this particular redraw. As you can tell, most certainly this is a very early childhood drawing, between the ages of 8 to 10-ish. And as you can see, this is a scene where the beauty is absolutely flabbergasted by the beast being struck by lightning. Wow! But the most interesting thing that I found about this drawing was, again, my sense of architectural whimsy. Look at this castle and this outdoor pool with a jumping pad or a thing. So I kind of want to redraw this environment, and especially this whimsical castle-ish building. I kind of want to remodel this building maybe, perhaps as well. Add a little bit more features now that I have all the skills. So it's time for sketching.
Now in this process, I want to try and find a proper angle. Whether or not I want to add additional modules to the castle, I have all the freedom to decide and choose these things and enhance the original sketch to a new level. That's why I try to make at least 4 options for me to choose from.
Oh, here we have a couple of options indeed. Now I tried to work out the angle, and the style that I have in mind would probably be similar to Adventure Time animation style. Graphic, stylistic, very colorful. And here, if we took a look at these options, like some of the perspectives are purposefully warped a little bit. This one is a bit more isometric, but I like this low angle looking up at the castle. And we also gonna have the beauty here in the scene approaching the castle where I'll integrate the beast all the way down here in a little bit of a more welcoming manner, as in receiving the beauty entering his domain. So yeah, let's try and clean this work up, and we're gonna go with this option. Boom! Look what stepped in the room, your boy straight.
But the initial sketch is quite rough, so I do one additional cleanup pass to define the details, figure out which parts of the castle should have windows, openings, additional modules attached to it, and after doing all of that, I go again and do another pass over it by contouring the cleanup sketch with colored contours, which is going to emphasize the final drawing and its color scheme even more. And the contour colors are going to be coordinating with all of these colored blocks, which I will be filling in a very graphical manner.
Alright, the basic colors are filled in. All I need to do is characters and the overall shading. I'm gonna do it quite simply in terms of technique, with sharp cell-like shading, if you will. So let's see.
Lots and lots of tedious and meticulous work once more. I'm filling in the unique color segments all over the drawing, just to make the tapestry of this graphic art a little bit more varied. And after doing that, all I need to do is create multiply layers that can help me add additional shading, bringing out the atmosphere of this entire piece. And finally, bringing everything home with highlights, finishing off this entire piece with style and whimsy.
Wow, and we're done. Oh my gosh. It's actually quite fascinating when I look at the piece how far I've come. You know, the fact that I was able to recreate this piece with whatever angle that I liked, shifting it in my mind's eye, and then also applying another artist's style. I would obviously not pass this off as my own unique style, because you clearly can tell looking at this piece that this is very Adventure Time-esque. And I deliberately chose to do that because I wanted to see how well I could adapt the color scheme, the line work, and so on. But now, let us take a look if this evil, pesky AI can able to do anything of worth and actually manage to surpass my magnificent skills as an artist! So the piece that I chose to sacrifice here, it's this one. Childhood drawing of mine of the time when I was about 10 or 11, maybe 12, somewhere in that range. And I had a phase. I liked underwater stuff, and just this is one of them. There's a whole bunch of things going on here, and you can see I was unaware of anatomy, proper shading, proper perspective. There's a lot of mistakes done in this piece, and obviously so, because I was a child without proper education. And it would be curious to see if AI can fix all that and in fact recognize some of these subjects here, because they are a little bit hard to recognize because it is not that good. So yeah, let's see.
And after taking a photo of this piece, I send it into the ChatGPT's chat box, type up a comprehensive prompt in hopes that the AI is going to recognize all of the necessary details in this piece and recreate it to its best abilities. And with a single click of a button, we wait for the results.
Technologia! Lots of people are creating images right now, so this might take a bit to, oh wow. What's it gonna do to my drawing, man? This is useless. Man, look how long it's taking to do this. I thought AI was supposed to be snappy, quick, and oh, here it is immediately, but no! It's slow as shit.
1 hour later.
You ready?
I am ready. Let me put away my Roni pizza for now, and I'm not looking, okay?
Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I see. All right, let's take a look. The octopus is missing.
I'm most surprised about the glass bottle.
Yeah, the fact that the glass, but like what's inside of it is indistinguishable at this point. I see that the shading and the pencil work, it like took from existing like artworks, it added nice little god rays and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it still looks like a drawing done by a child. If the child really understood shading, because the shading is
Shading is pretty good.
Yeah, it's undeniably good. The woman has a fin instead of a hand here. That's interesting.
Oh,
If I were to like work on this and generate multiple prompts and maybe, continue to improve and iterate on these pieces, maybe I would have come to the result that I liked, but...
What do you think, people?
Yeah, let us know, please, because, to me, there's, glaring AI shenanigans happening here that I wouldn't be able to just like overlook and pass it off as like, this is good enough,
I have an idea.
Hey, what?
Let's give one more chance for AI to fix this.
Yeah.
Let's just add all the notes that we have and see if it's going to be able to fix it. I think it's fair to give another chance to AI. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do it.
2.5 hours later.
Oh. No way. Hold on. Oh, we just had to refresh the page.
Wait, this is completely something else.
The woman is gone.
The woman...
The bottle is gone as well. The boat is gone. Yeah, bro. AI it has some issues. It has some trouble. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. What interesting ideas do you think we might tackle next? And we'll see you next time.